There's two things that just about everybody knows about RVing. Number one, you will run into problems the more you RV. Number two, customer service is not the strong suit of the RVing industry. So today we're gonna put that to the test and try and find some good companies that have good customer service. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. So this list that we're going to be going down today is number one, going to be companies that I've had to deal with, call customer service. I had a problem, and they're the ones that I was extremely impressed with, how they treated me, the responses I got all through the process. Number two is going to be companies that RVers have to deal with all the time. So I want to call some of these more popular companies and see what kind of response I get, see how they do with their customer service, see if we can kind of uncover some of the RVing industry's dirty secret and find out who has good customer service and who maybe doesn't have the best. Okay, so this first one, I wanted to begin with a good one, a company that I thought went above and beyond what I expected when I reached out to them, and it's the Power Watchdog. This is our old surge protector that we use as a data analyzer when we pull up to a site to be able to make sure that the power is good before we disconnected and started setting up. But what had happened is I had damaged the end of this plug, and while we don't use this on a regular basis as a surge protector and in our system, it is something that I still use for testing equipment, and it still has a lot of great uses for me. So I wanted to be able to replace this end of the unit. That way it could still be watertight with the same gauge cable. And when I reached out to them, I thought I was just going to try and order that part. They ended up replacing the entire unit itself, even though I had purchased it years ago and I wasn't expecting any kind of a warranty claim or anything like that. So I sent in the old unit and got a working unit. And I love to see that their focus was on making a happy customer. And I don't have any affiliation with Power Watchdog or Hughes. This is not sponsored by them. This is actually sponsored by etrailer, but I don't have any affiliation with Power Watchdog. So I'm hoping you can help me out on this, because as we go through this list, if you've had a good experience with a company, leave that down in the comments on what your experience was. So that way we as RVers can kind of reward these companies that are doing a good job and treating their customers well. So let's move on to the next one. So this one's RV Lock. We've been using them for years. We had them on the last RV. We have them on this RV, obviously. But in the past, their customer service was great. They were easy to work with, easy to get information from. So years down the road, I was curious, do they still have that same customer service that they did years ago? Have they veered away from that? So I gave them a call because I wanted to test it out.
Thank you for calling support. There are 4 callers ahead of you. To request a call back, press 9.
So I gave him a call, which is nice that there's actually a phone number to find and call. So many of these companies, it's hard to actually even talk to somebody if you wanted information right then. And I was able to get a phone call back within 25 minutes to get the information that I was looking for. So in my experience, I'd give them an A+ because they were responsive and they gave good information. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one's interesting because of a little bit of contrast. So when I was doing the test on the 12-volt AC, I was using the Epic battery. And so I wanted to log into the Bluetooth app, realized that I wasn't able to log into it. It was gonna help me track some of the information of using the 12-volt AC. And with it being an American company with American support, they had a phone number right on top of their website, called it, got straight through, and embarrassingly found out what my problem was. Made me feel a little silly. I had forgotten that they had 2 apps for the different lines of their batteries, and I was using the wrong app. So super easy fix. On the contrast side of things, the SOK battery, I had reached out to them, was having an issue with the BMS in one of the batteries, and they do have multiple ways for you to be able to contact them. They even have a long distance overseas phone number that you can use on there, but they also had a WhatsApp to be able to message somebody. So I thought, I might be able to get a quick response that way. So the way that that worked out is I would send a message, and then in the middle of the night when it wasn't their evening time, I would get a message in the middle of our night, and then that kind of went back and forth. So you'd get like 1 text per day. It was a little bit painful trying to get that information. I mean, it all ended up working out to where I had to replace the BMS. They sent me the unit, I swapped it out, and the battery was back up and working. But it was just different than dealing with a company that's in the US. So that kind of highlights the different ways to be able to contact a company can really make a difference on how quickly you can get something resolved. If you're packing the RV, getting ready to go out on a weekend and it's a Friday afternoon, who is going to respond well, which we do have a company that did that on a holiday weekend and contacted me in the middle of a holiday weekend, which completely blew my mind, but we'll get to them in a bit. But first, I wanted to test a sponsor of this channel, which is eTrailer, because I've said many times that they have good customer service. So I wanted to see how they did. Is it true what I'm saying every time? I wanted to test this out. Friday afternoon, eTrailer, here we go. There was no delay. I got right into somebody and I was able to talk to somebody through the question that I had. Fake question because I already knew the answer, but I wanted to see how it was going to play out. But through the conversation, we were able to dial it in to exactly the product that I was looking for and the recommendation to be able to work with the equipment that we already had.
It should work for you there. I'm not seeing any kind of compatibility issues with it.
Okay. Then I wanted to try the same thing through the online chat. Sometimes that's quicker and easier. Just ask a quick question and get it right there on your screen as you're doing some of your research and shopping. The nice thing about this is you were able to get the links directly in that conversation so you could check out, give response back to what you're looking at, and further dial it in and get your question answered. Which is the reason why they've been a sponsor of the channel for a really long time. Try that on Amazon. You're not going to find a phone number to ask for advice for the products that you're looking at and trying to make a wise decision. I'm trying to see if they're trying to upcharge me for other things that I don't need. They passed the test. They didn't try and sell me anything else. They said it's all included in the kit. So good advice. So links are going to be down in the description, and it's why I recommend eTrailer, because of their good customer service and great selection. Okay, now this next one I found just a little bit humorous, but our MaxxAir fans have had a squeak. So I did a video on trying to get rid of that squeak. One of them had the squeak come back, so I wanted to reach out to them to see if there was anything we could do to stop the fans from squeaking. On their website, I had to do a double take because the little guy in the corner for the MaxxAir fans looked awful like the Dicor guy, like the one on the Dicor sealant on the tubes of caulking. I guess he's a fan expert as well. So they had a phone number, I gave him a call, got straight through, no wait time at all. And the advice I was given was to use WD-40 on the motor. Definitely doesn't work and just invites more contaminants, which was the problem. High score for prompt, low score for bad advice. It doesn't work. Okay, moving on to this next one. This one really blew my socks off because I'm doing a test trying to find the best sealants for RV roofs and even some of the coatings out there that could potentially extend the life and warranty of the roof of your RV. So a product that I'm pretty impressed with, still trying to stay completely objective about it, but I've been impressed, is the RV Roof Man, so the Forever Sealants. So I had bought some product, had a question about it. I called, I actually got the owner and maker of the product. I can't imagine that it's like that every time, but pretty impressive that he picked up the phone, was able to answer my question really quick. But let's get to that other one that really impressed me because they got back with me on a holiday weekend. That's the soft startup device. They also have the soft start that you can install on the AC. I was having an issue with the plug-in device and needed some clarification with the things that I was testing. I messaged them late on a Friday evening and fully did not expect it over the holiday weekend of the 4th of July. And they responded with me with the answer that I needed in the middle of that weekend, which is great and a bummer because I hope that some of those people get to take a break and have a holiday weekend, but at the same time, they got me the answer to the question that I had. Extremely impressive that they were that on top of it and helped out a customer. So if you've had a situation where you've dealt with a company, you feel like they went above and beyond or just had great customer service, put that down in the comments. Let's help support some of these companies that are doing a great job because not everybody in the RV industry is doing a good job. So I hope we can reward the companies that are being the example to what we would like to see out there. So anyways, I hope this video and the comments down below will help you out, help you enjoy RVing more, dealing with the companies that are more enjoyable to deal with. So I think that's going to do it for today. So as always, if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will see you next video. Take care.
Your experience was very positive. Press 4 if your experience was somewhat positive. Press 3 if your experience was meh, not good or bad. Press 2 if your experience was somewhat negative. Press 1 if your experience was very negative.